welcome back to the HQ. Today, we're going to be reacting to the tragedy of modern Halo by Big Boss. I've been a Halo fan for as far back as I can remember, up there with things like Mario and Sonic for me, because I played that shit when I was a little kid. Probably shouldn't have because of how much shooting and violence and whatnot, but I did anyway. So, we're going to be reacting to this video, chronicling the rise and fall of Halo, and just see just how far it has truly fallen. Shall we?
The year is 2021. Gaming technology has and continues to advance at an unprecedented rate. Each hair, wrinkle, and pore can now be rendered in real time, and to a shockingly accurate degree. Megabytes the size of a room have turned into terabytes so small, they can fit in the palm of our hand. 2D sprites to 3D models so realistic, they're almost indeterminate from reality.
No 3D Morshu.
Light simulated so authentically, we'd think for once we were actually outside. Then there's virtual reality, which is only just getting started.
I remember seeing that videos of that game. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but it's like a shooter. It's like a shooter that takes place from the perspective of police body cam, and it looks so realistic. It's uncanny. It's kind of actually a little scary how realistic it looks. I gotta look into that later, but holy hell, it's honestly a little spooky how realistic it looks.
It's at this point in time that a development studio with hundreds of millions of dollars in funding, armed with hundreds of veteran game developers, and backed by a $1 trillion corporation, is currently having issues adding a team deathmatch playlist to their game. The game had been built from the ground up to be a platform for the next 10 years of the franchise, and the developers are currently suggesting the user interface of the game is bringing the feasibility of a team deathmatch playlist into question. The state of things isn't looking great, but to understand just how...
I'm gonna keep it a stack with you, Chief. I haven't really paid much attention to Infinite's multiplayer, just because I'm not much of a multiplayer gamer. I don't play multiplayer shooters all that much, so I haven't really paid attention to all the ups and downs of what happened to it. But how does UI elements, something in your game that you made, conflict with the ability to add a playlist for games? Something that's been in like every Halo game since like the first one or the second one. Jesus. We're already to a rough start already, huh?
Massive a tumble this franchise is having. We have to go back to the start.
Gotta go back to the beginning. We're going way back. We're going way back. Okay. Alright. I see what you're picking. I see what you're putting down. Oh. So much nostalgic. I gotta play Halo sometime.
The year is 1997, and Bungie is a small but fairly well-known development studio in the PC and Mac market. They're located in central Chicago, having recently moved from the south side, where they were situated behind a crack house. Regardless, they're now starting work on their next game. Now, there are only around 50 people working at Bungie at this point. However, their project gets the attention of Steve Jobs. He's interested. And at Macworld in 1999, he has a little something to show off.
Imagine if Halo was originally a Mac game and not Xbox. Imagine that, dude. That would have been something crazy, huh?
Now at this point, Halo is a top-down, real-time strategy game. But the people at Bungie are liking it so much, they keep wanting to get closer to the action. It then becomes a third-person shooter. Closer. A first-person shooter? Perfection. Also, it turns out that the Macworld presentation had turned a few heads, and now Microsoft are interested. They slip Bungie some money, and in 2000, they're theirs. Bungie packs up and moves to Washington, and Halo is repurposed as an exclusive launch title for the original Xbox. Steve hears about this, and he's not happy. He apparently calls the CEO of Microsoft directly, and has a go at him for about half an hour. But nonetheless, on November 15th, 2001, the original Xbox comes out, and Halo ships with it.
Yeah, I mean,
players boot up the game and jump into the campaign.
So critically acclaimed.
The year is 2552, and humanity is now in space. We jump into the shoes of Master Chief Petty Officer John Halo. He's brought out of cryosleep on the Pillar of Autumn.
It's so funny to me too that his name is actually John, because John blank is it's like a pejorative just for anything, but his name is literally just John Halo. Technically it's John 117 since we don't know what his last name is, but John Halo is close enough.
Ship in the midst of fleeing a planetary invasion from the alien Covenant. Cortana, Chief's new AI, has led it to a mysterious, ancient ring world called Halo.
Oh, that's why they call it that.
And they land on it via an escape pod.
And splat.
The campaign is action-packed, interestingly plotted, the levels are huge and open, and it's accompanied by a score literally channeled from the heavens, by Marty O'Donnell and Michael Salvatore.
Oh yeah.
The multiplayer only had 3
Halo's
to 4 people working on it for a total of 6 months, and was actually on the verge of being completely cut just 2 days before the game was finished. However,
imagine one of the best multiplayers of all time being almost cut because it was so unfinished prior to launch. Imagine that. Multiplayer gaming would not be the same without Halo. And if it was cut, I can't imagine that dark mirror alternate universe.
it made it in, and turns out, it's a smash hit.
Oh,
People
yeah,
system link their Xboxes together to form 16-player LAN parties and go crazy. Design-wise, Halo's multiplayer is an arena shooter. There's no sprint and no weapon loadouts. Want a better weapon? Better get out there and find one.
Yeah,
There's also a ton of vehicles to play around with. Scorpions, Banshees, Ghosts. See that truck? That's a fan favourite. There's a ton of interesting maps, and a huge variety of game modes to play on them. Slayer, Capture the Flag, King of the Hill.
I still have the original
something
PC
with a bit more
Halo.
Bang. Bigger maps, more vehicles, and 16 players in Big Team Battle has you sorted.
Big
The
Team
formula
Battle's
for
a
Halo
personal
multiplayer
favorite
is
of mine. I
set,
love that.
and it's
so
a blast.
Chaotic.
But we're not done yet. Combat Evolved's mechanics are also revolutionary. Before Combat Evolved, FPSs on console were more or less a complete clusterfuck. Each stick on your controller would control both movement and aiming at the same time, making aiming incredibly awkward. However, in Halo, the left stick is solely for movement, the right solely for aiming. There's also an aim assist feature, so now you can actually hit something.
So, funny fact about that, actually. Halo is not the first FPS to use the twin stick design like that. I can't remember the exact game, but it's actually a Aliens game, I think. It was either Aliens or AVP. It was one of the two. I think it was on the original PlayStation, and it was one of the first games to use the DualShock, 2 control stick controllers. And I remember, because one of the reviews for it, I remember specifically, derided it because of its control scheme. Being it has this unwieldy control scheme where you control your movement with one stick and move your camera with the other. And it's so funny thinking about that because it's now the standout method of control for first-person shooters. So technically Halo wasn't the first one that did it. It was that other game 4 years prior.
In most games at the time, you'd spend a ton of time fuffling through the arsenal of weapons you'd amassed while playing. But in Halo, you can only have 2 at a time. Just hit that Y button and unload. The health system. In Halo, you have a shield that recharges, so you're no longer forced to scour around for a health kit to keep playing, like most games at the time. A mechanic now ubiquitous in shooters. Add the best graphics, enemy AI, and physics of any console shooter at the time.
It wasn't the first and everything,
this
but
game
it
wasn't half
revolutionized
bad.
and normalized it
And
all.
so, the game sells. Bigly. It ships more than 5 million copies in the first 3 years, and launches the Xbox with it. Microsoft's newly acquired investment is looking good.
If only they just bought Bungie outright
But first,
instead of...
I live in my parents' house, in a generic English suburb, on the first floor. My name
You should probably
is
move
Big
out of
Boss.
there. I don't think City 17 is all good
I'm
this year.
25 years old. I believe in taking care of myself. a balanced diet,
Care of yourself.
a
It's
rigorous
always good.
exercise routine, and good
I don't think
wireless
that's
earbuds.
rigorous. I think that's a little
In the morning,
overdoing
if
it.
I'm a little bored, I'll put on my Raycons while doing my stomach crunches. Thanks.
I can't do earbuds, honestly. I can't stand having anything in my ear like that. It's like having like a worm in there, just dig it in. I can't do that. It's like I can't like I just like fuck around with it trying to get comfortable, and I never get comfortable because I don't like having stuff in my ears.
To their sweat
I
resistance,
don't like it.
I can do 1,000 now.
I mean,
On the
I'll
off
just have
chance
to,
the
like,
batteries are running
balance,
low,
like,
before my
some
shower,
of
I'll take them
my,
off and
like,
charge
over-the-ear
them.
headphones
Fully
awkwardly
charged,
on my
they'll be good
forehead
for
if I'm
8
trying to
hours,
work out or
with
something.
32 more still in the case. I then reapply them while I prepare the rest of my routine. I mostly use the
meanwhile,
balanced sound profile. It stabilizes the natural
JLab
highs and
headphones
lows
that
of
I
the
use for
songs that aren't
everything have,
mixed
like, a
exactly to my
60-hour
liking,
battery
for a
life.
warm, balanced sound. When I'm listening to
And they
something
also
else,
come with
like a
awareness
podcast,
mode, and
I'll use the pure sound
and
profile.
noise canceling.
It's crystal clear, and I can hear everything. Then lastly, I'll use the bass sound profile, usually for when a song is particularly dirty. The seamless touch controls make changing between them effortless. In noise isolation mode, there is an idea of external sound, some kind of abstraction, but there is no real sound, only an entity, something illusory.
Over-the-ear headphones.
And though I can hide my confused gaze, and you can shake my hand and see me nod my head, and maybe you can even sense I'm listening, I simply can not hear.
Are you good?
Click the
Sounds
link
like
in the
you're having a
description
moment.
or go to buyraycon.com/bigboss
sound
to get
like you're a little
15% off
distressed
your
there,
Raycon
brother.
purchase today. When Bungie started developing Combat Evolved, it was supposed to be a standalone game, but after its huge sales numbers, Microsoft sees $signs. Hey, you
Yeah,
got any more
obviously.
of that Halo? And Bungie gets to work.
Yeah,
Halo
I mean,
2,
you make the
Bungie
biggest
gathers
game
round.
of all time.
The ideas are big, ambitious.
And you
This
gotta
game was going to be bigger,
start plotting out for
better,
the sequel.
cooler. However, fast forward about a year or two into development, and problems are surfacing. Alright
Oh,
boys,
yeah.
we've just shown our E3 demo to the world, and they absolutely love it.
The whole shame.
Here's the thing, our graphics engine doesn't actually work, and we're going to have to scrap the entire game and start from scratch. They tell Microsoft the game has to be delayed by a year, and get to
I've definitely heard from Inferno Plus and his modding just how bad the game engine for this game is, and how like held together by like popsicle sticks it is. It is not a coherent engine in the slightest. It's very much slapped together.
work. The crunch is on. They work around
Gotta
the clock,
crunch it.
building the entire game from the ground up again, shifting the story around, and scrapping things left, right, and center. In the end,
If I recall, even the E3 demo was just like complete bullshit too. That was 100% fake. Like absolutely nothing in it was real. It was like an initial like plotting of what they wanted to do, but like it was 100% fiction, not real at all.
almost 50% of the game's planned content is cut. Story-wise, they
You gotta admit though, despite all the hell they went through just to get the game shipped out the door, you gotta admit they still made Halo fucking 2. They still made one of the best games of all time.
end up axing the entire third act. They're so loaded with work that employees are in office constantly, and Bungie's two side projects have to be killed off entirely to bring more team members onto Halo. In the end, 90% of the final game is made in just 9 months. But in
Jesus.
November 2004, after a huge marketing push, Halo 2 is everywhere. It's covered on late night talk shows, news channels, billboards, and it's plastered all over
Everybody
Times
wants
Square.
that Halo 2.
And on the 9th, it launches. And despite the development nightmare, they've done it again.
They made Halo 2 despite
Halo 2
everything.
launches with another highly rated campaign. This time we take the fight to Earth as the Covenant has absolutely no chill for real. The campaign fleshes out the story by giving the player a glimpse into the Covenant's side, where we play half of it as a Covenant elite as he realises that his religion is a lie, and that their goal to activate the rings would actually just destroy most of the galaxy. The campaign
It do be
ends on
that
an
way.
infamously controversial cliffhanger due to the game's content cuts.
Hear me. Over. Isolate that signal. Master Chief, you mind telling me what you're doing on that ship?
Sir. No.
The music is on par with the first one, apart from one key difference. Some aspects of the campaign are controversial upon reception, but on the multiplayer
How
side,
so?
oh boy.
I mean,
Halo 2 is one of the first
Halo
games
2
to
is one of
utilise
the
the
best games
brand
of all
spanking
time.
new Xbox Live, and Halo goes online. People from all
Xbox
around
Live
the world come
disc.
together through the
Oh
wonders
my
of the
goodness.
internet to universally trash talk you and your mother through game chat.
God, most people today just
Halo
would not
2
survive
also
on
introduces
on
player-created
Xbox
custom
Live.
games, and after matchmaking online, you'll often find yourself with a ton of invites to fun custom lobbies. Halo 2's multiplayer matchmaking is so popular that in 2006, it becomes Major League Gaming's first televised console
God.
league. Red vs. Blue, an online web series made
God,
within
man.
Halo 1, has also launched by this point, and is quickly becoming one of the most popular web series of all time.
Maybe I should do a reaction to Red versus Blue sometime because I haven't watched it in so long. Like, maybe I should. That'd be fun. This reaction to Red versus Blue. This continue my Halo kick. I did hear we're supposed to get some Halo news this month, maybe. So that'd be fun to look at. More for later.
Eventually landing on Netflix. As a result of all of this, Halo 2 has bigger
Wait.
first day
Red versus Blue is on Netflix? Wow, I didn't know that one. I didn't think that a Machinima series would be on Netflix. Wow, it just goes to show just how big Red versus Blue is. And maybe now I should definitely react to it after not having watched it in like 15 years. I don't even remember like the later seasons. Like, I can't remember anything past like god damn, I can't remember honestly. Well, more for reaction content then.
revenues than any movie had ever had at the box office, and is sitting at the biggest 24 hours of revenue in entertainment retail history. $125 million in sales, and 2.3 million units sold. Now 2 for 2,
Good old days.
Bungie
back
has a
then, man.
proven track record.
The friggin' good old days.
Microsoft, now drowning in money and sales, commissioned a third game instantaneously. And after 3
Oh, yeah.
years,
You
in
gotta finish that
2007, Halo 3 is served. It's one of the most anticipated game launches of all
Peak
time,
Halo right
with
there,
a colossal ad campaign
Peak
to go with it.
Halo.
The launch sees queues at almost every game.
The whole Believe marketing campaign. I'm not like the kind of person that sits here and like slobs off like advertisements, even though I'm 100% going to be watching the Game Awards this year, and it's basically just one big like aggrandizing ad campaign. But the Believe campaign for Halo 3 is genuinely one of my favorite things of all time. And like watching them as like stories of like old Marines and like decades after the end of the Human Covenant War, just like an old war machine reminiscing about the Master Chief and what they went through, going to various like sites of different battles on Earth, and then like the slow melancholy go through of the like big diorama, the battle. Genuinely one of my favorite things of all time. Absolutely, genuinely one of the favorite things.
Retailer, and streets filled with people waiting to get their copy. But at midnight on the 25th of September 2007, it launches. Halo 3 flies off the shelves instantly, and first day sales reach as high as $170 million in the US, setting another record for the highest gross of an entertainment product. While some
Goddamn,
parts of
dog.
Halo 3's plot and writing is underwhelming,
Ma'am, squad leaders are requesting a rally point. Where should they go?
To war.
Bungie.
You just posted cringe.
Halo 3 finishes the trilogy off with a bang. A stellar campaign with some of the best missions in the series, and an ending to the series with
Absolutely.
proper closure. Multiplayer is again amazing.
proper closure.
A social
a big
experience with
cliffhanger.
pre and post game
Hey,
lobbies where everyone has a mic, and trash talking is ubiquitous.
Oh god damn, you just throating that microphone.
Halo 3 also adds Forge, a way for players to create their own
man.
maps. And
Dog, I played so much Forge as a kid, especially in Halo Reach with my brothers. We used to make like these bases. We'd make bases and then just go to war with each other. And one of my favorite things to do was to make like an auto defensive system for my base where it would just be long tunnels filled with gravity lifts and a kill ball that would spawn like every minute and a half at the end of it, launch it through at my brother's base. It was so fucking fun. Oh god, there's also Mystic Slayer on Reach, which is a modded game mode where you can actually play on console on the original version of Halo Reach, and it would let you use like the spawn points and manipulate the settings on the spawn points to be able to spawn different stuff. Like you could spawn like warthog cannons, you could spawn the Gauss cannons, you could spawn like a lot of stuff in it. You could spawn like dummy NPCs with no programming. And I did see too that there's a modder creating a Forge mode for Halo 2. And it has a ton of stuff in it. Like you could spawn NPCs, enemies, mobs, every vehicle, including like pelicans and phantoms and stuff. I gotta check that out too sometime. Absolutely. Yeah, Yin. You should totally get Master Chief Collection on Steam. It's definitely like it's definitely worth it for playing the campaigns and playing through all of that. It's so fantastic. Plus it's like $60 for like Halo 1 anniversary, Halo 2 anniversary, Halo 3, Halo Reach, Halo 3 ODST, and Halo 4. I'm honestly kind of surprised, like as derided as the game is, I'm surprised I haven't added Halo 5 to it yet, honestly. I feel like that's like something that'll eventually happen, is adding Halo 5 to it.
Theater, a way to rewatch and clip previous games. You can also now unlock different armors for your Spartan via achievements, as opposed to just choosing your Spartan's colors like in 2 and 1. Custom games are expanded with a file sharing feature on Bungie.net, with players having their own specific file share pages where they can share and save others' screenshots, film clips, and map and game variants. This inevitably ends in interesting uploads. Halo 3 goes on to sell more than 4 million copies in the first few weeks.
It happens.
And Halo is everywhere. People that never even so much as picked up a controller had heard the theme.
I like it.
And knew John Halo.
Yeah.
Halo had become more than a game. It was a cultural phenomenon.
100%.
However, a month after, Bungie comes out with some news. On October the 5th of that same year, they announced their decision to split with Microsoft and become an independent company. As per the deal, they'd make 2 more Halo games and then dib. Microsoft would retain all rights to Halo post-split.
The beginning of the end for both Halo and Bungie.
Bungie had released the smaller...
Considering the recent news that Bungie is basically having its autonomy taken away from them because of the failures of both the failures of recent like expansions to Destiny 2, I think, and also the absolute cataclysmic, abominable failure of development of Marathon, which I'm sure is going to become its own big boss video eventually. So, yeah, Sony was just like, yoink, none of that, none no more. Goodbye, Bungie.
A spin-off, Halo ODST, a couple of years after 3, but Halo Reach was Bungie's true send-off. Now this game is a bit controversial. New game mechanics like sprint, some annoying armor abilities, and weapon accuracy decay divides the player base and damages the professional scene.
Reach is
Then
still
there's
my
a lack
favorite
of maps
Halo
in the game, and a ton of those maps are half-assed at best, being made in Forge. The campaign is highly rated, being the
Reach
prequel
is
to
still
the
probably
first
my
game
favorite
and
Halo
ending
game,
immediately
honestly.
before that game begins. But it's also controversial due to its story heavily deviating from the books. Reach is
Yeah.
also jam-packed with features.
You
The
really
player's
gotta
customization is
I just read The Fall of Reach recently, after not reading it in like another until like 15 years, and you can really tell just how much, like, because if I recall, Bungie has said before that they don't like the books, which is, funny considering Halo Reach thrives off of many concepts based in the books, like the Spartan 3 program. But like, so much of Halo Reach and its plot just doesn't work at all in collaboration with the books. Like, I'm sure there's some people who have managed to piece it together, and maybe if there's a decent video out there that actually like puts together the timeline in a way that makes sense, I'll check it out. But yeah, it just doesn't work in any way that it should.
vastly expanded. A new massive Forge World map. The Wave Survival
Forge
Mode
World.
Firefight
I
returns
live
from
in Forge
ODST.
World.
A multiplayer with a variety
And
of maps
Firefight's
and game
fun.
modes.
I love me
Forge,
some Firefight.
custom games, and a theatre to film all of it. At this point, the formula for a Halo game had been cemented.
Yep.
It had been almost 10 years of Halo, and Bungie had gone
Reach
from a
was
small group of friends to a team of
Reach
less
was
than 50
absolutely
people in the south side
milestone
of
for
Chicago
all Halo,
to a
that
fully
all
fledged
Halos should reach for.
AAA world-renowned studio with almost 200 employees. They'd revolutionized graphics, physics, console multiplayer, console control schemes, and general FPS mechanics.
Well, except for that console control scheme thing, is that was the Alien game before Halo. But they did perfect it. I could say they perfected it.
They had created something massive. Microsoft's biggest game IP
And I
by
wish I had the
far.
money to make my own.
However, they were
my
now
own
gone.
Spartan armor.
Bungie hands
I will
Microsoft
draw
the keys.
armor for my
and says
model
their
at some
goodbyes.
point for whenever I eventually stream Halo, because I'm gonna do it eventually. Maybe I'll do some cursed Halo with some friends of mine. Enter 343 Industries, who somehow fumbled the biggest bag in history.
Immediately after Bungie announces their departure, Microsoft gets to work on finding their replacement. However, instead of taking one of their already established studios and giving them the IP, someone has a brilliant idea. Simply build their own. And 343 Industries is born. Microsoft Game Studios manager Bonnie Ross is assigned studio head, and she gets to work shaping the new studio. They approach devs from a ton of AAA studios. Hey, we're building a team. You son of a bitch, I'm in. And after a couple of years, the team is
This is how
starting
you
to
do
take
it.
shape.
It's just how you gotta
First
do it
up,
sometimes.
Frank O'Connor, previously Bungie's content manager, is now
Yeah.
franchise development director.
Gotta get somebody with some
he's gone
experience
from
at the
doing
helm.
odd jobs around Bungie to swaying the direction of the entire franchise.
I mean, Frank O'Connor has been around since the beginning, and he's had his finger in a lot of various bits of Halo. Like, he's a content manager. Like, as a content manager, like, he's like, it's less of an odd job kind of thing, and more of him like being more or less the person who like coordinates all the various like bits and pieces. Because like I know Frank O'Connor was like, I think he was the go-between like the book people and the game people, and more or less was like and hell, Frank O'Connor even wrote some of his own books, like Saint's Testimony, which is a book about a AI who tries to defend themselves in court to put off their own decommissioning. As if you don't know, in the realm of Halo, in the world of Halo, smart AIs that have like human level sentience and intelligence have a shelf life of 7 years, because after about 7 years, that's when they start to enter a state called rampancy, where they're basically begin to think themselves to death and enter a state of insanity. And they're at that point, once they reach 7 years, like they basically are shut down and decommissioned and replaced. This AI in Saint's Testimony decided to try to defend themselves in court for a stay of execution. And I think I'm not going to spoil the ending, but that's basically like the general premise of it, is that this AI tries to put off their own like scheduled death date because they believe it's unfair for a sentient being like an artificial intelligence to basically have their death planned out in advance from the moment they're created.
Josh Holmes is creative director of their first game. Previous experience? Working at EA Sports on games like NBA and PGA Tour. And Brian Reed,
Oh, that's
previously
not
a
good.
comic book writer for Marvel, is on board as one of the first game's writers. More on him later. Microsoft had handpicked the next generation of Halo developers, and they were going to make sure the next game would be amazing. From 2007 to 2011, 343 Industries goes from around a dozen people to almost 200. They'd hired developers from over 25
You need a lot of
AAA
people to make a
studios,
decent-
and it
decent
spent the
game.
last 3 years working hard on the next game.
Controversial opinion, I kind of like Halo 4. It would be a lot better if they didn't try to completely shift the art style, instead just evolved what was already in 3 and Reach. But what exists, like, the only problems I have with 4 is like the complete shift in art style and the fact that a big component of Halo is backtracking and moving around like the maps and available areas for ammo. But in Halo 4, if you go too far ahead, all the weapons behind you just start despawning, and that shit really messes me up when I try to play Halo 4 back again. I'll have to find a mod that takes that out or does something with it, because I know that one exists. But if I ever play Halo 4 again, which will probably be an eventuality, then I will definitely be looking into mods like that.
And finally, at E3 2011, they have something to show off.
God damn, I remember how hype I was for this trailer.
And people are hyped. People had thought Halo was
Yeah,
finished,
absolutely,
that the trilogy
dog.
had ended. But now we had a new one coming out just next year, and it was from this new mysterious studio. 340 people now on the job, and a cost of about $40 million. But on the 6th of
Damn.
November 2012,
They really put their
Halo
money
4
into it.
goes live. It's a mixed bag. Turns out that before making Halo 4, 343 sat down and had a talk. They'd looked at Halo 3. How can we follow on from this? Make this even better? What did people like? Iconic art style? That music that everyone loved? Innovation and trend setting? Right, this everything? Let's change all of it. The iconic music? Gone. Game design? Gone. Art style? Gone. And why does the Covenant look completely different? And horrible? Chief went to sleep like this, so why did he wake up like this? Left, right, and
still wonder
center,
that every
things
day.
are just
I'm pretty like I know in the books they eventually established that like Mjolnir armor is made with some like nanotech metal that that automatically receives like firmware updates and stuff, and like will alter and change itself, but like still doesn't make any sense why suddenly he goes from wearing the standard Mark 6 Mjolnir Gen 1 armor and is suddenly wearing Mark 6 Gen 2 armor. It doesn't make sense at all in the slightest. He was in that pod for 4 years, and yeah, Cortana says that she rewrote some of the firmware for it, but like, still, I wish that they had some explanation other than just like, oh, we changed the art style.
wrong. The leadership at 343 is also adamant that it's important to not just follow Call of Duty, which is taking off massively at the moment. Hold on. What's that? That's called a kill streak? Loadouts? Write that down. On the campaign side of things, it's divisive.
Halo used to be the trendsetter.
On one
now
hand,
it's
it's
following
a deeper, more personal story about the Master Chief and Cortana. On the other hand, the plot is convoluted and makes little sense, and the mission layout and game design is abhorrent. The new enemies are a drag to fight. Used hard.
Yeah, two things on that. One, Halo 4's story, like it's all over the place and definitely could use some more fleshing out. But I really love that it took like a more personal story between Chief and Cortana. And also, yeah, fuck the Prometheans. Just, fuck the Prometheans.
Half of your ammo on this tanky knight. Unlucky. He's just teleported away and regained all of his health. As a result, only long-range weapons are really viable on higher difficulties, and ammo runs out awfully quick. Oh
yeah.
And almost every new character is absolutely insufferable.
I thought you'd be taller.
The overall mood is also just different. Gone are the witty one-liners and humour.
Oh, I know what the ladies like.
And in their place, pure, unadulterated melodrama.
There has to be another way. I mean...
I know what you mean, Tom. And I won't see you court-martialed over that woman.
The Covenant looks different, human soldiers look like literal toys, and Spartans are now incredibly ugly plastic Power Rangers. The music also has a totally different feel. When it comes to the multiplayer, Frank O'Connor had specific...
Just to preface, I'm pretty sure neither of those are Halo music. I'm pretty sure one was... I can't... Either it was tickling my ear in a certain way. Either it was Jurassic Park or the Roland Emmerich Godzilla movie for Reach. And then, of course, that definitely wasn't Halo 4 music. But honestly, Halo 4's music is so atmospherically unique compared to other Halo games, and honestly I really like it. For the vibe of the game and how it's alien even for Halo, because now it almost entirely takes place on a Forerunner shield world and fighting against a Forerunner in this new, closer, tighter story that isn't this overarching war, but rather this tight, close story between Master Chief and Cortana. It definitely works for the story it's telling.
Specifically talked about not copying COD. Let's look more into that. There's a new system in multiplayer that rewards doing well with better weapons. It's the same as kill streaks. There's a new system where you can assign yourself special attributes during games. It's the same as perks. You can also choose what weapons and grenades you start the game with. It's the same as loadouts. There's also a new story mode called Spartan Ops. It's the same as Spec Ops. Sprint is also no longer an armor ability, and is now a default mechanic of the game, just like another game. This changes the integral dynamic of Halo's gameplay, and the game is faster paced and the map's larger due to the fact.
I don't mind sprint and changing the pace of the gameplay, because you're playing as a bunch of armored super soldiers, so I don't see why you should spend the whole game running around in a delightful little jog, honestly.
Even the control scheme of the game itself, straight from Call of Duty.
They're the same picture.
Then there's the host of weapon balancing issues, things like file share not working at launch. There's few
that's
maps.
inexcusable.
Theatre and Forge are both lackluster, and actually a downgrade from Halo Reaches. And there's no firefight.
I greatly dislike Halo 4's
They would
Forge,
finally fix the file share issues in late January, 3 months after release. The weapon imbalance isn't properly addressed until months after that. However, on the hype and brand recognition alone, the game sells vast amounts of copies, selling even quicker than Halo 3. One issue. People are not sticking around. After just 1 week, the game's population craters to half of day one's. In total, Halo 4 lasts a whole 2 months in the top 3 of the Xbox Live games. Halo 3 didn't fall out of the top 3 until Halo Reach released. That was 3 years after its release. Roughly a year after release, Halo 3 had a 1.1 million peak population day. Reach had a 900,000 peak population day after the same amount of time. Halo 4 clocks in at 20,000. 343, not off to a good start.
Not good in the slightest.
Before the launch of the next Halo game, 343 announces the Master Chief Collection. This includes Combat Evolved, which 343 had already remastered, a brand new Halo 2 remaster, with new graphics, music, audio, and creamy Blur Studios animated cutscenes, and Halo 3, all bundled together into a single game for the Xbox One, combining 6 years of Halo into one package. The 11th of November 2014 comes
And
around,
also Halo 4
and
was
the
in there.
MCC launches, with Halo 2 launching
Exactly as it shipped 10 years ago.
Really?
What is it? More brutes?
Worse.
Oh. oh. Oh, he's doing things. Oh no, 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 no. Oh no, 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 no. Oh, I love that level. Oh,
What happened?
oh no. Oh god. MCC's problems. He's doing a jig.
Why can't I get a match? It's been a week later. And this game still
damn.
ain't fucking working, bro.
But get past all of that
Imagine-
and actually make it into a
Imagine
game.
messing up
Well, there are
a
issues
collection
here
of the
too.
greatest games of
If
all
you're the
time.
host of a lobby, you can boot anyone in a game out at any time. Kick out everyone on the other team, and you've just won a game. For players playing competitive ranked, this is a big problem. But hold on, didn't 343 claim that
That is
games would run on
inexcusable.
dedicated servers before launch?
All running at 1080p, 60 frames per second on dedicated servers.
Frank O'Connor
Really?
comes out and says that, yes, your games normally do run on dedicated servers, but sometimes they would fall back to peer-to-peer networking. The ability to kick people out of the game was simply due to a UI bug. One issue. MCC doesn't have
God.
any of the infrastructure
Halo
for
and their
peer-to-peer to
UI
actually work
bugs.
properly. For example,
Goddamn,
host
dude.
migration. The system that kicks out hosts when their internet isn't strong enough to host a stable lobby. In the MCC, this is completely absent. Your host's uploading his latest YouTube Let's Plays? Unlucky. You're playing the rest of the entire game lagging everywhere. The host's
Ugh.
just gone to the dashboard. Your screen is now pitch black until he comes back. The host just
What?
left. Well, the game's over entirely.
Oh man.
They release a few fixes over the next few months, and then port ODST over and release it for free to say sorry.
Sorry.
But the game is still completely fucked, and remains in an abhorrent state for years to come. 343 pretends to forget that ever launched the MCC, and get together again for the next Halo. Okay guys,
Excusable.
see this? People
Like-
hate this. We can
I
do
don't see how
better.
the hell they could have.
And they
like,
make it
launched the
clear in
MCC.
interviews and articles they'd heard us, and we're going to get it right this time. They say they've learned from their mistakes.
Did they now? Did they really learn from the mistakes and by learning they made the worst Halo game of all time? Yeah, hey there. Yeah, honestly, I've played Reach on, well, actually I haven't played Reach in a minute on my MCC. I gotta check that out sometime and see if it has problems launching. I got a monster rig PC, so I doubt it'll be much of a problem for me. But I'll definitely have to check it out, see if it has any problems running, because I've been meaning to check out Forge mode and see if Mystic Slayer still works. Yeah, I hope that's something that can get fixed, so it won't crash for you on your PC. I hope that's something that can get fixed.
Won't happen again.
And this was going to be the return to Halo. The music was back, the story was epic, and the multiplayer was going to be amazing. Also, all post-launch content is completely free. Oh yeah. Then there's the Hunt the Truth marketing campaign. Chief's gone rogue. He's being hunted by another Spartan. He's in a cloak. People are intrigued. A really well-written Hunt the Truth audio series also comes out about a journalist finding out the truth about the Chief going rogue. Nice, the story actually sounds quite cool. And in November 2015, the game hits
And then the
shelves.
game dropped the ball.
And virtually all of Halo 5's marketing is completely irrelevant. Hunt the
Yeah,
Truth?
pretty much.
An apt name apparently, because there was none here. Instead of the
None at all.
epic chase down of a rogue chief as shown in the marketing, Halo 5 comes packaged with one of the worst stories in a video game to date.
And the shortest.
First off, in previous games, all you had to do was play the last game and you knew what was going on. But here, haven't read the last 3 books, the Spartan Locke movie, the series and everything else before playing. Nothing personal, kid. Halo 5 starts off by showing us a team of Spartans we've never met before, bar one. And the first cutscene shows them killing off an elite that the entire Halo 4 Spartan Ops campaign had been building up. We then end up playing as these guys for 13 missions of the game, leaving only 3 to play as Master Chief. There are also 7 boss fights in the game, but turns out we're literally fighting the exact same guy in every one. By the end of the campaign, it turns out that Cortana, who died at the end of Halo 4, is now back alive, and she's now evil and causing an AI uprising. For some reason. Bungie literally joked about how bad of a plot twist this was more than a decade earlier.
There was an alternate very early in the version of the story where when he rediscovered Cortana, she'd like gone berserk with power and wanted to take over Halo in the universe.
What happened to that story?
It was too good.
5's writing and plot is so awful, it actually causes irreparable damage to the franchise. Head writer Brian Reed gets so much backlash for writing the game, he eventually has to step down. The music, however, is a bit better. For the multiplayer, 343 had sat down again. They'd already stripped the art style and the gameplay. What was left? Split screen. A feature that every Halo game to date had included. Perfect.
Absolutely egregious.
Also, people weren't too happy with the sprint in Halo 4. Okay, we'll keep that in and nerf it a bit. And let's add a ton more things. Advanced movement. This brings ground pound, charge, float thrusters, and clamber, meaning the movement is now so far removed from Halo that it's a different beast entirely. Also, let's get hundreds of armor sets into the game.
I'm sure they're probably going to add a whole bunch of that stuff to the CE remake too, which I hope that's what the news is we'll be getting this month, because I keep hearing we're supposed to be getting Halo news at some point this month, and I hope it's about the Combat Evolved remake on Unreal Engine 5, but I'm sure they're going to add like a bunch of like these armor, all these like movement, all this movement tech to the game. No, Halo 5 did not have split screen. It very egregious for that, and it's probably why they're doing the best they can to sweep Halo 5 under the rug, and they haven't even added it to Master Chief Collection. It's only 1, 2, 3, 4 ODST and Reach in that game.
Let's also outsource all of that armor development to another company. With this much armor being requested, it naturally results in art designers getting desperate and making some questionable designs in an attempt to hit quotas. Some are absolutely terrifying. The Seeker helmet is particularly infamous and memed instantly. Air fryer, speaker, coffee machine, no one knows. Armor customization is also dumbed down to only body armor, helmet and visor. That's a massive downgrade from 4, which let you pick helmet, shoulders, torso, legs, forearms and visor. Also, again, there's the actual look of it all. Plastic. Plastic everywhere.
It's like,
the iconic rocket launcher from all the way back in Combat Evolved is also now the gutter pipe on your parents' roof. The classic Chief armor is in the game, but it seems a little off. We won't get into the ODST armor.
Looks like an
the game is also bare. Multiplayer only includes 4 game modes at launch. This is less than Halo 1 back in 2001, even missing staples like Big Team Battle.
And that's why I never played Halo 5 online.
Custom games browser, or Forge at launch either. 343 add these in months down the line, and package it in as post-launch support. When Big Team Battle actually does come...
Genuinely, things that were in the previous game at launch as like the base package should not be released later as like post-launch support. That is just out and out horse shit, honestly. Like, imagine releasing a game and it has half the content of the previous games in your franchise. Like, no wonder they had to completely restructure for 343 into Halo Studios. No freaking wonder, man.
All of its maps had been made in Forge, meaning they looked like they were made in Roblox. Jesus Christ. Despite the lack of content, and while being completely different to the rest of the series, the multiplayer is actually quite highly rated. It plays well, has well-designed maps, and is well-balanced and very competitive. There's a new game mode called Warzone, basically a larger scale big team battle on massive maps. This game mode is really well received. However, fans designate it pay to win, as guns are unlocked in rec packs that are buyable with real cash.
Yeah.
All customization
that
is also unlocked with the rec pack system, meaning that most armor unlocks are now completely random. Have a problem with this pay to win system? This is 343's response.
Yeah. Customization was probably peaked in Halo Reach, whereas it's like you played the game, you rank up, and with your new rank, you get new customization options. And that's just how you do it. You just play the friggin' game.
Wait, won't rec packs with special weapons break the exquisitely refined balance of arena multiplayer?
Secure your noise hole, soldier. Grown-ups are talking.
Damn it.
Right, that was it. Halo fans, done.
Fuck this shit.
Yeah,
it was
they didn't learn
apparent
anything.
the dream had come to an end. Halo was over. Okay, this was bad. 343 holds an emergency meeting. Okay, fellas.
Absolutely
Halo
terrible.
5, again, not too great. And fans are leaving us en masse. This next game has to actually deliver. And deliver it would. 21st of February 2017, and Halo Wars 2 comes out. A sequel to the spin-off strategy game released in 2009. Is that the old art style? A new story more akin to the games of 1 to 3, together with a new enemy, the Banished, cool cutscenes, non-cringe dialogue. What was going on? Now this game is actually developed by a studio called Creative Assembly, not 343, but nonetheless,
Halo Wars 2 in general is really good.
The game does away completely with the story of 5, and sets up a decent looking story for Halo 6.
Halo Wars
and a couple of days after its launch, Bonnie Ross confirms that
really
they'd learned their lesson.
It's a shame I don't play
Unlike
real-time
5,
strats.
all new Halo games would have split screen. Let's go, boys.
Would they?
October the 23rd, 2017, and 343 announces they'd attempt to fix the MCC again. At this point, the MCC hadn't seen an update in more than 2 years, and was still completely broken. But almost a year later, in August 2018, their big patch goes live. It's 37 gigabytes big, and it fixes a ton of networking issues, bugs, and completely overhauls the menus. 4 years after the game launched, and the game finally actually worked.
Hulu panels
In March 2019, 343 has another announcement, and this one is big. Fans immediately begin calling local pizza joints and ordering pizza to 343's offices en masse.
Pizza time.
So much pizza is being delivered, 343 actually has to tell fans to stop. Of course, the PC version launches with a ton of bugs. One particularly bad one where, if you shoot the floor, it will damage anyone else in the lobby also looking at the floor.
Huh?
I killed the flag
How the hell?
I killed the flag carrier.
How the hell?
Vehicles also driving themselves, there are crashes, graphical issues, etc, etc. However, these are quickly patched. It was clear, something within 343 had seemingly changed, and a sense of cautious optimism was brewing among fans. And with a huge, next-gen sequel that would be the platform for the next 10 years of Halo being cooked up behind the scenes, it looked like Halo was finally back on track.
Would it? I don't think it would be. No. Ooh. Well, that was a very tumultuous up and down history of Halo from Bungie to 343 and beyond, and part 1 of this little series. So, next time we'll be digging into the absolute chaos of Halo Infinite and see how this very unfortunate story ends and how it will be carried on into the future. So, don't forget now to hit like on the video, hit subscribe to the channel, and I will see you next time at the HQ. Bye!